darkness. It can be a very, very, very dark place. And as a result, these belugas live in a world of sound. They can make lots of different calls. They're sometimes referred to as the canaries of the sea. You may be able to hear some of these calls right now.
Sounds like you.
So these are just some calls that the belugas will make. They have a huge repertoire, and since they just made some beautiful calls for us, I was hoping we could all make some really nice calls back to them. That sounds good too. But if you really want to sound like a beluga just once in your life, on the count of 3, close your eyes and try to make your best beluga call back to the belugas. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Perfect. Well, as you see, the belugas can make lots of cool sounds, and they don't just use them to communicate, but they also use sound to navigate. Does anyone know what this kind of navigation is called, where you use sound?
Echolocation!
Yes, thank you, way over there. I heard your sound. It came all the way over here. It is called echolocation, and what the belugas are actually doing is they're sending sound waves through their nasal cavities out into the water, and these sounds can travel very, very far, hitting different objects like fish and sea ice, and then the belugas can listen to the echoes. They can tell the distance and shape of these objects as the echoes return into their lower jaw and up into their ear. So it's a very handy technique they can use in the water, and they actually use their foreheads for this. And if you have a look at their forehead right now, you might see something a little bit peculiar. They can actually wiggle that fatty mass on top of their forehead called their melon, and this helps to focus the sound that's leaving their forehead. So a very handy technique, especially for dealing with such a dark, dark place. But it's not dark all year round. In the summer, there's up to 24 hours of daylight. The temperatures increase quite a bit, and the ice recedes from the shallows, opening up lots of feeding grounds for the belugas to explore. So I'm actually going to pass the mic on to our trainer Phil on the island there, and he's going to talk to you more about what belugas like to eat.
Thanks, Anna. Hello everyone, I'm giving you a wave so you can see where my voice is coming from. Thanks for waving back. So beluga whales are known as opportunistic hunters, which means they'll eat pretty much anything they could find living out in the ocean. Here at the aquarium we feed our belugas a combination of herring, capelin, squid, as well as some salmon. But out in their natural habitats, these animals will also eat small invertebrates, including clams and worms, that live beneath the sand at the bottom of the ocean. But how, you may be wondering, would they get to these animals? They don't have hands like we do, obviously. So instead, beluga whales have developed a very special feeding technique that very few dolphins and other whales have. Beluga whales, kind of like us, have flexible lips. And by using their flexible lips, it allows them to be able to actually spit water. And using this jet stream of water, they're able to stir up the sand and uncover these clams and worms and crabs that live beneath the sand and then begin to feast. And if you direct your attention in the center of the habitat at the glass, with the help of our very brave volunteer Keela will demonstrate what this feeding technique may look like.
Perfect. Let's give a big round of applause to Ian. So as you can see, the belugas have amazing lips that they can use to find all kinds of foods in the shallows and in the deep waters. But they don't just go into the shallows to find food, they also go into the shallows to give birth to their calves. And as you can see here, our baby beluga in the back, she's gray, and actually all baby belugas are born gray. It's thought to help them camouflage into these shallows and estuaries where they're born. It takes them about 4 to 6 years before they start to turn white. And as you can see in the back here, Aurora is doing a really nice pose to show you how comfortable she is in the shallow areas. Unlike other whales and dolphins, belugas can shimmy off the shallows really easily so they don't get stuck, and that's another helpful feature to allow them to access lots of food. So as we've learned today, the belugas are a very unique type of whale. They're very well adapted to the Arctic environment. They're actually the most abundant whale we have in Canada. But there are a few populations, especially the one around the St. Lawrence in Quebec that are threatened or endangered, mainly due to pollution in the water. And now they're facing a new challenge with climate change. But the good news is, we can all do something every day to reduce our own fossil fuel emissions. And that's exactly what we're doing here at the aquarium. We're trying to buy all our food locally, and we've also retrofit the building to make it energy efficient in hopes of being carbon neutral by 2011. So those are some actions we're doing here. We hope to inspire folks who come here to try to do the same. If you're already doing those things, that's awesome. And I would like to challenge you to continue finding new and creative ways to reduce your energy emissions to help the animals up north. Well, we're nearing the tail end of our show here. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the show.
We'll see.
Have a lovely afternoon here at the Vancouver Aquarium. On behalf of the trainers, myself, and the whales, I'd like to wave you goodbye. If you have any questions about belugas, feel free to come over and chat. My name is Hannah, and I like to talk about belugas quite a bit. There will also be a dolphin show at 5:30 in the dolphin habitat, and an Arctic spotlight where you can learn more about the animal connections in about 20 minutes downstairs in the underwater art gallery.
Belugas.